Even though I had put it in the closet, it was still taking up space. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another Tiny Tidy. And Tiny Tidies are hosted by Sunday Dawn from The Helpful Home, so I'll have a link in the description box below so you can check out her channel, and also a link for the playlist so you can check out all the other Tiny Tidies that are going on today. But for my Tiny Tidy, oh, and by the way, if you've got a Tiny Tidy you want to do along with me, grab your stuff and come on, and we'll do this together. For me, I am doing another one of those around my house, Tiny Tidies. I had this thing that I had decluttered a long time ago, back before the pandemic and before lockdown. But then I didn't get it to the person, but they still wanted it. So I've been hanging on to it this whole time. And so eventually I stuffed it back in the bottom underneath the clothes in our closet. Well, finally I got to pull that thing out of there. I'm going to pull this stuff out of here, drag that thing out. You can see it right there, that little curio cabinet. Yeah, that's been sitting back there for a couple of years, waiting to go to its new home. So I'm going to pull all this out and finally free up all that space. Well, I'm going to have to dust it off a little bit before we put it in the car, because even in the closet, I guess it has gotten pretty dusty. But I forgot there's a couple of things inside, and I think I was going to give them to the people too. One of them, sorry if this is loud. One thing is this cute little baby doll. They can give that to their granddaughter. Sorry for the sneezing. That's hubby sneezing. Anyway, they can give this. They can give this to their granddaughter. And I forget what this is. Oh, I remember. Okay, so yeah, that's a little thing that they can have to sit around if they want it. Okay, well, it's not perfect, but it's less dusty than it was. And I'm sure they'll want to clean it up anyway when they get it. But yeah, before I started doing my intentional and continual decluttering, before the pandemic started, actually, I had been doing a little bit of decluttering, and when the pandemic happened, I just stopped for some reason and didn't start doing it again for about a year. But since then, I have not stopped, and so this has just been sitting in the closet all that time, waiting to go to its new home. So today is the day. And now it is with its rightful owner, or its new owner. We passed it along to my husband's cousin, his second cousin, whatever it is. He lives near us, and it was his sister that wants it, and she lives in another state. She happened to come up, so she's already picked it up. So it is with its new owner. But that got me thinking, I want to go around the house and see if I have any other large items that I can declutter from my home. That one was pretty good size because it was one of those little curio cabinet things. And so it was taking up space. Even though I had put it in the closet, it was still taking up space. So I went around my house and I gathered a few more things that are big and that I can let go of. Oh, and one more thing. This isn't too awfully big, but I have a whole stack of papers here that I am going to be decluttering as well. And these are pages that I've scribbled on, and they're poems and stuff, and so I am transcribing those into my computer now, because a lot of times I do write like this. And so now I'm transcribing that. That is a huge job. So in the past, I would have just hung on to those papers. Now I'm going to start decluttering those papers. As I get it typed into my computer, then I'm going to put it in a stack, and it's okay for me to let it go. That's new. Like I said, I would have kept that. We're not doing that anymore. We're letting things go. But I also grabbed this thing. It's been sitting in the guest bedroom for a little while now. It used to be the doom room, but it's not a doom room anymore. But this has been sitting in there because I thought, I might grab this out. It might be handy for when I'm decluttering or grabbing things or sorting things. I haven't grabbed it at all, and it's been sitting there for months, so I'm going to let it go. If I decide I need something, I can grab something else, you know, I can just let that go. It's fine. And I think it came from the dollar store. It wasn't expensive. Another thing, and I showed you guys this once before. I couldn't get to it. It was up in the top shelf in my pantry, and it's been, well, it was in a drawer. It was the silverware drawer in our home when we bought this house, but I don't use it. I didn't really like it, and it's a two-part thing, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, so you have a double layer, so it makes your silverware drawer so it's twice as big, basically. You can hold a lot more stuff, and then these are the end things that hold it together. But I didn't like it, and so I eventually decided I didn't have to use it just because it was there. I thought it was cool when we first moved here, but then I realized that for me it just was more of an inconvenience than a convenience, and so I finally took it out, but I felt like it belonged to the house, and so that's just how my brain works. I just thought it belonged to the house, so I should hang on to it. So I put it up in the top shelf of the pantry, and it's been there ever since. And it's been there for probably over a decade. It's been up in there, and we've been here 14 years, so it's been there a long time. It's time to let it go, because I realized that if someone else does buy the house someday, because, you know, we may be here a long time, but if somebody else buys the house, maybe they'll redo the kitchen. Maybe they won't want this type of a thing. Maybe they'll do something different. Or if they do want this, they'll buy their own. So why am I hanging on to it? It's pretty big. It's taking up a lot of space. So why am I hanging on to it? There's no reason for me to hang on to it. So I'm okay with letting it go now. I also, back before I started recording my decluttering, I had also gotten to that point where I was ready to let go of the glasses. When we moved here, the house, they had redone the kitchen, and they had, even the glasses matched the design of the wallpaper and all the stuff in the kitchen. And so those glasses were here. They left those glasses because they matched the kitchen. I didn't use those glasses because I didn't like those glasses, but I kept those glasses for 10 years, 12 years. I kept those glasses for 12 years, even though we didn't use them, because if somebody else bought the house, they might want those glasses. But that doesn't make any sense, right? That, to me, it made sense before, but it doesn't make any sense. If those people move into the house, they're not going to know there were glasses that matched the kitchen. They're not going to care. But they might care that I left a bunch of glasses here, right? So I'm not going to do that. So I let them go already. So now I'm letting that go, the drawer thing, it's gone. Another thing is this trash can. I bought this trash can, I think, when we moved here. I don't think I had it at my other house. I think I bought it here. I could have had it there. But I've had it probably at least 14 years, and I haven't used it. I'm not going to use it. I thought I would want one that you step on the little thing. I can't do it with my hand, apparently. But I thought one that you would want, you know, I'd like that kind. But I'm too lazy to step on the thing. so, no, it's going. I'm not keeping it any longer. And then this trash can, I love this little trash can. And I used to use this little trash can at my other house. But it has been out in our garage for years. I mean, I don't know how many years, but it's been out there. It's still in very good shape. It's not dented up or anything. And I thought for a while that maybe we would use it out in the garage or something. But then I decided I'm probably not going to. You know, why not just go ahead and pass it along? Maybe there's somebody who would like to use it somewhere besides in their garage just because they don't have anywhere else to use it. Like, why am I keeping it for that reason, right? So I'm going to let it go ahead and find a new home. I'm much more likely just to grab an old gift bag and use that as trash out there. So, yeah, it's going. And then this basket, it's huge, and they come in handy, and I have used them a little bit when I've had stuff out there in the garage and doing with the driveway giveaways. I'd carry stuff out to the road in it. but they're just so big and awkward, and I don't really want to keep a lot of stuff around, and so, and I don't really have anything, intentional in mind, a purpose for it at this point, even if I did keep it. The only thing it does now is just if I have stuff I want to carry out there, I can plop it in it, but I can put that in a box, right? So it's going. And the other thing, I don't know if I can show this to you. I may have to just take a picture of it and show it to you, but I'll try. It's this great big shelf. I don't know how long it is, but if you can see, yeah, I don't know how long it is. It's really long. And I bought this when we were at our other house. It's heavy too. I bought that when we were at our other house. I was really into the country decorating and all that for a while. So I've probably had this shelf since the 80s, maybe the 90s, but probably the 80s. And I never hung it up. And actually, there was a bag with it. And this has been sitting down, propped up in my basement for the whole time we've been here. And it had extra ones of these pegs. And it looks like maybe the little things to hang it with. That probably came with it. I never hung it up at my other house. I've never hung it up here. And I don't want to hang it up here now. I don't want to have things that I'm going to have to dust. And if I have this, then I'd have to dust it and anything I put on it. And I don't really have a place I want to put it. It just doesn't, I don't really do that type of decorating as much anymore. I do still like the stuff, but I don't really do that much of that type of decorating, so it can go. So, and I'm good with that. So if you've got some big stuff around your house, maybe look around for some of that today, because it can make a huge difference. I'll try to take a picture of all this together. I don't have the curio cabinet anymore because I already let that go. But I'll try to take a picture of all of this stuff together so you can see just how much stuff, how much space this stuff was taking up in my home, and I wasn't using any of it. So there you go. It's really just a little thing to look around your house and try to find the biggest things you're ready to toss out. Gather them together, pile them up, and watch it grow. And when you're finished looking, you can watch your clutter go. And isn't that the biggest thing to help around the place? Tossing out the excess in exchange for all the space. And when you look around again, you see things differently. All because you took the time to do the biggest little thing. This is a look at all of the stuff together. As you can see, it takes up a pretty good amount of space. It covers this whole table. This was the kitchen table that we had at our previous home. It takes up the whole table. And that doesn't even include that curio cabinet, and it would have taken up as much space as that big basket right there. That was a lot of stuff sitting around in our home. These were all in different areas of our home. They were collecting dust, taking up space, and we weren't using them. Now it's time for us to let them go and let them bless somebody else who does want to put them to use. And that is my tiny tidy for this Tuesday. So if you did any tidying around your house along with me, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And again, be sure you check out the description box below for the helpful home and for the playlist. For now, happy decluttering. There's my bubby. Did you get your tiny tidy done? Did you get your tiny tidy done today?